Hello everyone. My name is Skylar Larson. I am the CSBBCS Associate Departmental Representative for the University of Guelph. Today, I am joined by Dr. Evan Risko from the University of Waterloo for our brand new Meet the Researcher series. Welcome, Evan, and thank you for joining us. We do have a couple questions for you today. First, tell us a bit about where you studied, so for your undergraduate degree and your graduate degrees and so on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. This should be fun. So I completed my undergraduate and graduate degrees at the University of Waterloo with Dr. Jennifer Stoles and Dr. Derek Besner. Afterwards, took a trip out west and did a postdoc with Alan Kingstone before starting my first faculty position at West Campus of Arizona State University. Then a year at the University of Memphis, and then finally back to the University of Waterloo, where I currently am, and I'm hoping to stick around for a while.
Wow, you really like Waterloo. I mean, that's great. I mean, I did my undergraduate degree and now graduate degree at the University of Guelph. So, I mean, that's great that there's somebody else who's sort of done the same, stay at the same place, and now obviously is back at the same place. So our next question, why and how did you decide to focus on your particular field of cognitive and behavioral sciences?
So I think just stepping kind of all the way back, it started with a general curiosity about human behavior. And as an undergraduate, I think I initially came in interested in forensic psychology. As I think a lot of people maybe come into undergraduate psychology. So I dabbled in criminology and sociology. Then eventually I got, I guess, more interested in the individual. And then I was in kind of clinical psychology a little bit. And I was finally introduced to cognitive psychology with Dr. Jennifer Stoll's undergraduate course in it. And I kind of realized that what I was interested in when I said I was interested in human behavior was actually understanding a bit about how people think. The rest is history, I guess, as they say. Throughout my career, we've dealt with various problems in the various labs I've been in. Right now, we're really interested in the intersection of humans and technology. So how, offloading our cognition onto external aids might impact how we think. Really interested in our perceptions of effort. Like, how do we decide to take one course of action over another? We often say, well, that one thing might be more or less effortful. Understanding how we make that determination, I think, is an interesting question. And lastly, we do a fair amount of work on kind of training and the development of video lectures in particular, and trying to understand how to best design them to help learning.
Mm-hmm. The video lectures is definitely relevant right now, definitely with where we are. Yeah, that's definitely really interesting.
Yeah, we had been studying video lectures for a while, and all of a sudden now we're relevant. So
yeah, I mean, they're always relevant, but I mean, particularly right now, absolutely. All right, so you have obviously done a lot of research in a lot of different areas. So our next question is, tell us a bit about the skill set required for your work, and how did you develop expertise in these skills?
Right. So the skill set, I think the skill set is curiosity, patience, intellectual modesty. So being willing to be wrong about things, but having a desire to be right about them, to understand the truth. I think we need to be in a kind of continual state of self-improvement, continually being willing to learn and excited to learn new things. And I think in the nature of your question, you might have had other things in mind. So maybe programming or statistical kinds of things, and I think those are important skills. And those are certainly important skills to have, but I think those skills change. So right now, I think it might be like JavaScript, so we can run experiments online or effects models. But it's hard to know in the next 5 years what those skills might be. But I know we have a commitment to just continually learning and continually improving ourselves, that whatever those skills might be that we need, we'll have the tools to kind of pick them up and move forward.
Definitely. It's definitely a good perspective on that. Like the more skills that people typically think of, like you said, they're always changing. So it's nice to hear your perspective on the other skills that you need, having this sort of open mind, but also the drive to really understand and find a good answer. Okay, so I guess you did mention a bit now that skills are changing, especially with it being online. So our last question is, how has your lab coped with the COVID restrictions to in-person experiments?
Right. So I think the lab has coped really well. I think I've coped less well. The graduate students and undergraduates all pulled together, immediately pulled together, taught themselves how to deliver the kinds of experiments that we typically do online. There have been sacrifices. We can't do everything we'd like to do, but it's been amazing how quickly they've been able to develop new skill sets. And to be able to continue their research program. The other thing we've done, which I know has helped me and I hope has helped them a lot, is we meet a lot on Teams. I think each student probably has 3 or 4 meetings a week, and those will sometimes be kind of general lab meetings, and sometimes be kind of one-on-one meetings. And I think what we're trying to do is, simulate to the extent that we can the intellectual environment we're used to when we're all kind of co-located in the lab or in the psychology department. And I hope that's helped the students, and I know it's helped me.
Yeah, it's definitely also good, even if you can't have that in-person face-to-face, it's still nice having that virtual face-to-face contact a few times a week. So that's always really nice. All right, so that was great. That's really all the questions that we have for you. So again, I'd just like to say thank you for coming on and talking with us today. Is there any last bits of advice or anything that you can provide, or any last words that you have?
Any last words that I have? Thank you. I know you're doing this to create a mechanism for people to be able to meet researchers. And if anyone's out there and wants to have one of these video chats one-on-one, I'm always willing to talk to other interested researchers.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.